On the table here, you see a Smartek brand hand stitcher taken apart. It's the RX-01R by Smartek. Now these are making me angry. I've been working with handheld sewing machines lately. I had bought two Smarteks, and both of them were new. The first one all of a sudden just stopped working, and I figured it was the battery compartment or something that had broken. This one, brand new, out of the box, they had obviously had it stitching at the factory. I opened it up, and the needle was still in there, and it was stitching, but it was starting a stitch, breaking the thread, and then it wouldn't stitch after that. So I thought it was the needle, and just so you know, these, you have to read the directions with each one. The first one I had took a size 15x1 needle, a regular sewing machine needle. The directions on this one say it takes a 24x1, which is similar to the Model 20s by Singer. So I thought maybe the directions were wrong, maybe it was the wrong needle installed. I changed the needle. The 15x1 longer needle will not, it sends off some kind of a safety feature and won't let this operate at all with a longer needle. So then I put in a new 24x1 needle, and the problem is you can thread the machine, but it won't make a stitch, and the looper is almost impossible to see. The looper is just beyond my thumbnail, right there. So I took this apart. It was in the garbage. I took it out of the garbage and took it apart so you can see what they look like inside. They're very simple. This is where the batteries would be. The on-off switch goes up here, which is very, I mean, this is so simple. So this pushes down on the metal, which pushes down on a connector, which has the batteries activate. This gear you see is for raising and lowering the needle, but you can't do that unless the screws are in. So right now, the way this is, I can't get the needle to go up or down because I don't have the casing screws in. So this is still going to be garbage, but I wanted to both show you what they look like inside, tell you they're not worth taking apart because this is like a really cheap stapler that you buy for like $1 and expect it to work maybe 10 times. So I'm going to take this out. It's attached to the gear. The looper is right there. That vertical piece of metal. And so as the needle goes down, that is supposed to move back and forth and make the stitch. Now I've done a little bit of research online, and maybe 1 out of 10 people have these work correctly. Now, the interesting thing is, I now have a Singer Quick Stitch So Quick, a Sunbeam handheld, a Smartek, what's the other one? A Handy Stitch. The Sunbeam is distributed by Smartek, but you can tell when you pick it up it's got a better quality. So I think there's one factory in China that's making all of them, and that certain companies ask them to be made with either upgrades or not upgrades, and this is the bottom of the line. So this is as cheap as they get, and so I would not recommend buying a Smartek. You know, when the first one broke, I was like, well, I can get a lemon. But when the second one did the same thing, and then online reviews seemed to say the same thing. So far, the Singer stitch so quick is the most reliable right out of the box. The Sunbeam is reliable right out of the box, and the Handy Stitch that I have is actually a vintage set, and it's making a little bit of a squeak at certain stitches, but that probably has to do with the gears. But you see there's grease on there. So my Handy Stitch has probably been sitting for a while, and that grease has hardened up a little bit. So, you know, those that work the best are still the vintage Handheld. I don't have one here right now. Made by Sun, also made in China, but they're completely manual. These are faster, they're more convenient, they're pretty, but the little Handheld is probably, out of all of them, the most durable. So this is the Smartek RX-01R, and I wouldn't buy it.